Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of Let's Play NieR Automata. In the last episode, well, I finished all of the main story endings of the game. Which is nuts because, if you may remember at the end of that episode, I said that I needed to take some time to gather my thoughts on what I thought of the game because it was mainly for two reasons. Number one, I usually do my thoughts during the credits, and if you saw last episode with the finale, you probably guessed why I feel like it wasn't the best place to gather my thoughts. Oh, that finale was nuts. And also, this game is... I don't know, it felt like I needed more time to think about it, because... I guess using Yakuza 0, because, you know, that's the latest game that I finished other than this one, I felt like by the time I got to the end of that game, my thoughts were pretty set. I'm like, yep, this is a series I still love, all of the improvements are improvements, and I pretty much just had it straight in my head that, yes, I love this game, I love it for this reason and that reason. So I felt like I didn't need to spend too much time on it, because it was basically me repeating myself at that point. With this game, I feel like there's more to talk about. Not too much. Like, I'm expecting this to go about, I don't know, 5 to 10 minutes, depending on how long I ramble, but I took a few days where I basically said to myself, you know, what I don't like and what do I like about this game. Mainly what I don't like, because I actually had to think about it. Because the conclusion, it may surprise you. Doctors hate it. No, sorry, that's a dumb joke. I took that from Best Friends Play. I just straight up plagiarized that joke. Oh man, but also, two other things that I need to address before I forget. Number one, people are probably wondering why I still have my save file, because I deleted it last episode. Don't worry, that deletion wasn't fake. I did delete that save file. However, I have about 5 backups, because that's what I do during a playthrough. Because... God, losing data is the worst, so I'm super paranoid about that, so I always have like 5 separate save files in different locations just in case, whether it be on the PSN network or on a computer. It's my paranoia about making sure I don't lose data, so I had a save file which is ready for using because there's still stuff I want to do with this game. And some people may call that cheating, and you know what? That's justified. I completely understand if you think that's me cheating, but... what are you gonna do, I guess? I mean, I guess I could delete all of my save files, but like I said, there's still stuff I want to accomplish, so... probably won't be doing that. And it's for the channel, it's stuff that I want to do for the channel. Anyway, second point, and that is this right here, because someone mentioned that after you complete Ending E, you do indeed get another machine report. And I actually knew about this. I knew about this because I was watching other people I like play through the game's ending after I finished the ending, because I just wanted to see. And I found out about this machine research report, and I already know what it says, unfortunately. But it does have some interesting stuff, so I didn't forget, so let's read it right now. Overview. While the machine lifeform network was destroyed during the collapse of the tower, a great deal of previously unknown information regarding machine lifeforms and aliens was recovered from the wreckage. As part of the analysis, we compiled research and conjecture regarding both the machine lifeform network and the lifeform codename N2, commonly known as the Red Girls, that was thought to have been commanding them. Machine lifeforms are weapons created by aliens. The only command given to their behavior was to defeat the enemy. However, it appears that their capacity for growth and evolution went too far, and they eventually turned on and killed their creators. At this point, machine lifeforms recognized that the goal of defeating the enemy actually required an enemy. In order to maintain this singular objective, they reached the contradictory conclusion that their current enemies, the androids, could not be annihilated completely lest they no longer have an enemy to defeat. In order to resolve the inherent contradiction, the machine life forms began to initially cause deficiencies in their network, diversifying the vectors of evolution for all machines. This is the cause behind some of the more special machine life forms such as Pascal and the Forest King. Meanwhile, the deficient network began repeating a process of self-repair while incorporating surrounding information until it finally reached a fixed state as a new form of network. Traces of information regarding human memories from the quantum server of the old model were discovered, indicating that it had integrated them during the final stages of its growth process. Said server contained a record of the discarded Project Gestalt, as well as information on the human who was the first successful example of the Gestalt process. Having acquired information regarding humanity, the network structure changed once more, becoming what might better be called a meta-network, or a concept, to borrow the words of the machines. This led directly to the formation of the ego we identify as N2. So then, to sum up, for hundreds of years we've been fighting a network of machines with the ghost of humanity at its core. We've been living in a stupid fucking world where we fight an endless war that we couldn't possibly lose, all for the sake of some council of humanity on the moon that doesn't exist. I don't know what the point to all this was, but I swear I will kill every evolutionary dead-end machine life form, as well as every single asshole behind Project Yorha. I'm coming for all of your heads. Fuck you. Information Analysis Officer. Jackass. Oh, she was relevant all the way up till the end. I love Jackass. Plot twist, it was actually a chord the entire time. No, I'm making that up. Don't read too much into that. Oh, man. That would be a twist and a half, though. So, yeah. We were fighting a war that we couldn't possibly lose, because if the machines won, then they would have to search for a new enemy, which would be against their directive, which is... Man, that's messed up. It's so messed up. But anyway, with that out of the way, I guess I can move on to the point that I was trying to make before, which is... I was trying to think about things I don't like about this game, and honestly speaking, it's been a few days still thinking on it, and I can't actually think of anything. I mean, there are some little things that come to mind, like bugs and some certain side quests. Even like stuff like the fetch quests, they still have mostly story related to them, so even they were still engaging, even though they were fetch quests, which is really... that's just attention to detail. And it was really cool. So... 2017 has been such a great year for games, but this one is... it's just so special, because it's the first good gameplay one-wise in terms of the Drakengard and NieR series. I mean, the gameplay in the other games weren't awful, bar, I guess, Drakengard 1 and 2. They were just sort of passable, but this is the first one where the gameplay's great. It's fast, it's responsive, it feels just right. The story, albeit a story that I've heard before, the type that it is, was just told so well, with so many twists, and twists that I didn't even guess, and some that I did guess, but even then, there were still twists, and I just hate it when a story, I can tell what it's going to be right at the start, and I bet other people have the same feeling, because I don't want to guess what's going to happen and be right. I want to be proven wrong, as long as it's not super dumb, which it isn't, which I'm really happy about, and it's just a really special game, which I'm probably going to keep on playing at some point in the future, so I'm so happy that it did as well as it did, because Yoko Taro, as the director of this series, he deserves it, because he writes such great stories, and, you know, characters, and the gameplay just wasn't quite there, and now that it is, this game is... it's not perfect, because me as a person, just because... I don't believe in perfection, just because I feel like this fits with the game's themes of, like, philosophy, so I feel like I can say this. Me as a person, I don't believe perfection exists. That being said, I still think things get so close that... Oh God, it's so close. It's so close. Like, I mean, if I had to think about other perfect games, I'd think about games which have, like, very minimal mechanics, like, I don't know, like Super Hexagon, where it's like, what can you complain about Super Hexagon? Because what it does so well, which is why I think it's near perfection, because in its simplicity, it doesn't have many faults. You know, games like Limbo or Inside also have the same draw, where what it does so well that it's just near perfect. And this game, because it has so much going on, the fact that it's near perfect is really impressive, because the more stuff you add in, naturally more faults begin to surface, or at least to me. This is me. This is me with my perception of games. So to be as good as it is, it's just so impressive. And like I said, I can nitpick. I can nitpick about very nitpicky things, like some of the performance in terms of bugs can show, but they're not game-breaking. And just... yeah, I can't even think of anything else. I guess some of the side quests, but once again, I'm just repeating myself at that point. So yeah, I fully recommend this game. If you're new to the series, the Drakengard / NieR universe, as it were, I'd still recommend at very least reading up on the game's lore. If you can't play the games yourself, I still think that it would improve this game's, like, what it has to offer, knowing stuff that's happened before. But that being said, you don't... I feel like you don't have to. You can still enjoy the game as it is, as a standalone, and then read up all the stuff afterwards. I feel like you won't get the exact same feeling, but it's still a good feeling, if that makes sense. So yeah, I was thinking about how to do the extra stuff in this game, because I'm going to take a little break. It's not going to be like 2 years with like Yakuza 4 and Amon. Oh god. There's still other promises that I need to catch up on, and then there's other stuff that I need to do. It's not going to be that long. But I do want to leave the question out in the open to how I do the extra stuff, because I do want to show it. Because there's secret bosses, there's still the DLC, there's still, like, weapons out there that I need to find, and important documents. This isn't... I don't want to fool you into thinking that this is going to be 100%. It's not going to be 100%. It's basically going to be as far as I feel like I want to go, as well as, I guess, what you guys want me to do. I feel like if we can find a nice compromise, then I feel like I can end this series off on a high note. But that being said, as I was saying before with how I show it, like, I could do it the same way I've been doing the episodes so far, where, you know, I do the pre-recording, you know, LP manner. Or I could stream it. That could be interesting. I feel like that would be a good way to do extra stuff. I've been thinking about that for a while, with extra stuff for things that I want to show off, where the playthrough is technically over, but there's still stuff to do. I feel like streaming could be a good way to do it for a slightly different perspective, and then archive it as part of the playthrough later on. I don't know. I'm just thinking out loud at this point, since this is obviously a last word, so... yeah, I'll leave you guys with that thought. And I guess with that, I think my last thoughts are over. I'm sorry if they were a bit jumbled. What else is new? But, yeah. This LP was a joy. This game was an absolute joy. It's gonna be top 10 of the year for me, easily. And I'll see you guys next playthrough. Oh, also, before I forget... yeah, you thought I forgot, didn't you? Nah, I was just, waiting for the right time, I guess. I'll see you guys next time.